Yo! Coming to you live on this September the 20th. Let's try it again. September the 21st. Oh yeah, baby. It is so good to come back in this place, in this frame. It's been a while. I have not been journaling. And that is something interestingly different since I've been completely sober for it feels like a whole month. Probably longer than a month now. It's amazing. Yes, I've drank a little bit of alcohol at different times. I had one major drink session, but just that one. And I had just one drink recently. I've actually been trying to work on my control and moderation management. So I'm getting like all these freaking benefits of control that is massively happening just from semen retention. Now, that's not to say that I haven't been like heading towards touching myself or engaging in some kind of other kind of extracurricular behavior. I will tell you that I had a slight slip. And I say slip, and I know like you either break it or you don't, bruh. And you're the one putting yourself in charge, so you messed up. Anybody, guys, whenever you're experimenting and you're doing things and you're trying to reach goals, let me tell you something that's very, very, very important that you do or don't do. You give yourself credit, you do. What you don't do is really beat yourself up about it. If you have some kind of a slip and it's not that major, acknowledge it for the not majorness. Give yourself a pass. Even if you really, really completely fuck up, you just say, man, you know what? I'm human. But that doesn't give me a right to stop, man. I made it this far. I'm going to do my journey again if you're having to start over, or you're having to kind of work your way back up to that level of management that you know that you could achieve. So if anyways, you can look at it sometimes as somebody having a full cup of water and they maybe just pour out just a little, right? They pull out just a little just to maintain and be okay. They don't have to empty the entire cup. Nobody's saying that, because oftentimes what happens when we say we quote unquote fucked up, we end up completely just throwing our cards in, saying, okay, well now I'm gonna engage in this behavior, that behavior. We're nailing it off, right? So I know you probably can't see me really well in this picture, but needless to say, I've been going out. I've been doing calisthenics. They're really, I don't know. I have a mixed bag of emotions about them. I like them and I hate them at the same time. I have a bad opinion. But so far, I mean, it's helped me to kind of maintain my muscle mass, which is great. But I have lost weight like you wouldn't have imagined. I have lost 15 pounds within 2 weeks and maintained that loss. And I'm still losing. I think right now I'm probably at about 20 pounds within a 3 to 4 week period, probably 4 week period. I've lost almost 20 freaking pounds. I have tried to lose these pounds forever. And it's not like I'm a big guy. These are like hard losses. So like if I could show, like some of you can see some of my rib cage. I mean, I'm not even supposed to really be able to. I've ate a shit ton of rice, chicken. What else did I have here? I ate so much other stuff today, and I'm still showcasing some kind of definition. And I mean, guys, like, I really can't show you if I stand up, but you can see, like, the definition is a whole lot better there. And this is with me actually eating crappy stuff. Fuck, I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you the pills that I take. What I will say, and I get this with a lot of disclaimer, because everybody has different body types. Me, I was trying to lose. I was basically just seeing if I needed to have my colon cleaned, you know? Let's be real, guys. I mean, we eat a lot of shitty food. If you're especially in your 30s or late 30s, you're just like, your fuel, what you've been consuming for so many years, has been started out almost primarily on bad foods. Now, I guarantee you, like, the younger the generation, it's going to start getting worse because they were brought in sooner than we were into the nasty diets that we're all consuming. I mean, it's just what it is. Everything's changing. Don't even worry about it, guys. Don't sit here and stress about it. Obviously, there's big, massive change on the way. Everybody's starting to become more and more aware of this feminine energy. There was a woman that was talking about sexual energy, which is something I'm very big on, right? Energy retention. And a friend of mine, she sent me this energy retention video, whatever, or not energy, the sexual energy video, talking about women's sexuality, and it was guy's perspective, female perspective. And they get to the section where the chick is talking about, she's saying that if I could have been a guy back in the day, like take it 1,000, the last 2,000 years before now, she said I would have gladly loved to have a cock. She said she would have been happy to have a relationship with a guy, because for the power, the security, and all that stuff that goes along with it, right? She said, but fast forward to now, where things are so much more abundant, that was the whole fucking key. She mentioned it. I'm telling you, everybody is becoming aware of this saturation of opportunity. It's hard to see the gold through the weeds, right? It's there. I promise you, everybody, just take a moment. It's coming. Or I'm kind of impatient, so I already see. I'm happy to see that it's happening. But there's so many people that are still stuck. There's so many people that are still in these other ways, like they need help. They're just waiting. They're still coming in alive. But we just need to be patient, people. We've made more massive change within the last 2 years than I feel like a lot of people have made in their whole lifetimes. You got to think about that. That is major. So pivotal time, pivotal moments, because people now they're starting to see where their real connections lie, where they really tie up with somebody else. And you got to forgive me. This is, like I said, I have not engaged in getting stoned from my, where's my pill brand? I like to advertise things that are legal. Because nowhere in my lifetime, actually in my lifetime, I did say that they would legalize marijuana in the United States. I knew that was on the way. But I never would have thought that it would make it, well, I think it would even make it this far too. And it'll be eventually all the way maybe. But it's cool to be able to take a cannabinoid product and actually advertise it. Can you imagine? We're human beings living inhuman existences. This is like, it's uncanny. My friend is telling me, and I'm sorry I'm kind of getting off the subject because I'm going to get back to it. But why do you need permission to use the plants on the ground that your bare feet can walk on? Can you imagine, like, let's say that, think about how abnormal it would be now. Just think for a second and hear me out when I say this. Think how abnormal it would be to see somebody walking around barefooted on the pavement and into a store and all around wherever they're going. Think about how weird it would seem in the city, in the country now, and maybe you can get away with a little bit of it at the beach. The fact that it seems crazy is insane. This is how desensitized we've become. We've been desensitized from being human and ultra sensitized to being materialistic and image conscious, image driven. It is hideous. I fall victim to it. I think we all are exposed to it. But just saying that, why do you need permission to go and cut a plant? You don't need anyone's permission. Who the fuck said you need a permission slip? Here we come in the dreamlike state into this existence and this reality and world. And slowly but surely, the fucking architects of this fucking dream state come in and start fucking with us. They start molding and start shaping everything up to where, like, all this immaterial fucking cool woo-woo gets to be this fucking tight little box that our realities and consciousness fit in. I hope that fucking resonates with somebody if they can understand what I just said, because it is very pivotal for why we should be thinking. My friend told me today they're letting all these people in from, like, immigrants that are coming in from Haiti. Like, he was talking about like 15,000, like, or I think it was like 15 or 10, maybe. I think it was probably 15, and then another 8,000. And so I was like, okay, cool, no problem. He's like, yeah, but and I love my buddy. Don't get me wrong, I love my buddy, but he's like, yeah, but I don't know about that, man. I was like, what's wrong with it? I was like, it's just fine. Let them all in. I was like, this whole shit's fucking crashing anyways. It needs to finish destabilizing. Again, guys don't understand, like, 2020 is over. So he says, well, there's a process to it. And I'm just thinking, like, man, but eventually we'll get outside of that. And he's trying to understand me. I give him credit for that. But eventually we're going to be outside of those boxes. That's programmed matrix thinking. There's a method. We follow a process. And if we don't follow this method, things can fall apart. And it creates this horrible storm. Now, I know my technology has been listening to my conversations today because it loves when I get on one of these kicks. I was in a super energetic mental energy state, and I haven't been in for a couple of days now. And I don't know if that's because I've been like edging. I would call it edging instead of just actually full, semen release or energy release. And I'm sitting there talking with my buddy, and I just want to make sure that I highlight this stuff. He says there's a process. And I'm just like, why is there a process? In my mind, I'm thinking this. Why is there a process to you traveling on the land? Who is this to stop you from traveling? Can you imagine? Who the fuck is anyone to tell you where you can and can't go? And I challenge anybody who's a true patriot and a true American, because I believe I am. At least ways I believe in the freedom spirit. I challenge anybody to that one. Because you know damn well your ancestors and my ancestors and other peoples have come here. I'm mixed motherfuckers. I got a lot of damn cultures, so I know about one of them I can relate to. Fucking came here because shit was bad somewhere else. And when they put their roots here and they had offspring, those were true Americans. But they didn't start out that way. So when you say, are you American? Are you from this country or that country? We really just from planet Earth, people. Because just let's all get real here. No one in the very short history of America populated here came from here. They came from somewhere else and colonized. That's the history they gave us. Now, I'm not talking about Tartarian and all that other shit. Y'all know that shit's that's some wild stuff. And anybody thinking about something, they can look up, I think there's something in Olympus, Tennessee. The Olympus or something that's in Tennessee. I don't know. There's some really neat kind of structure, artwork, and you ask what's the time era, and you get this kind of the same spot in Tartaria time frame. It makes you really wonder, guys. But at any rate, it was colonization that happened here. So we're just talking about another group that's trying to come in at the time frame they're trying to come in. The only reason why we bitch and whine is because we got ours. And we're busy trying to hold on and not trying to let other motherfuckers get theirs. That's some power greedy shit. Now my buddy says, man, there's a process, and he's probably thinking some other shit because he's thinking in the program, man. They always talk about carrying capacity and don't let the people in. We don't know what fleas they bring in with us kind of thing. Yeah, there's going to be some fucking problems. Let's keep it real, people. I'm not that fucking stupid now. All right, we ought to establish this. Look, you're going to get some rough situations at the beginning. But I told him, while you'll have bad stuff happening, now granted, you got to think, when people are grouped in their logic and their behaviors, obviously people putting on fucking masks. So a group collective tends to function a lot more intimately than the individuals, okay, and individualists. We already know this. So if the population of these that have squeezed in and snuck in catch wind that they're being watched 24/7 by these cameras and these drones, and it's like they feel like they're under an intense amount of surveillance, that if they fuck up, their asses are gone. And they don't know what gone looks like. And then there's ways that people know how to get rid of you already here in America, because they already been living here and they know the technology and they already know how to get around it. So no matter what, you got to be on your P's and Q's coming into this country. Why the fuck you want to roll the dice and fuck it up? You made it this far. Why you want to go the extra mile and fuck it up? Now, you might have some slips, but you're probably going to get your shit straight. You really don't want to cause any waves. And there's already a country that is anticipating you to fuck up. They're like, just give us a chance. We don't believe y'all motherfuckers going to be honest. So you got a lot of weight and pressure and things to prove just from your cultural standards that you are not going to fuck up. That's what these people are walking in this country with. And you think just one of them got that on their back? You think that's the only motherfucking thing they got on their back? They are sharing this shit collectively. You think they fucking got up there by like some divine fucking presence, like they just popped, shoot, we're here. We just got to cross now the border. Fuck no, man. Think about what it took to even get to that point. Nah, you sit up there in your leather couches, man. Sit up there on your gold thrones. You like Maseratis and whatever else you got going on. You ain't hustling like that. You ain't hustling like that. God, oh my gosh. I got this quote I've been telling people lately, man. Everybody bitch and whine about, oh man, I wish things were just better. I wish they would be more perfect. You know, I wish things were more perfect and imperfect. Or things just don't go well. And I'm just like, man, you know, I'll be honest with you. To be honest, I think we're going through perfect all the time. Because there's always that phrase, well, there's nothing perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. No, that's a lie. You ain't looking at things careful enough. There's a lot of perfectional things happening all the time. The fact that I still got my house right now while I'm speaking, it's damn perfect. My TV, it ain't falling over breaking. That's pretty perfect. This curtain that I got over here, I don't like the color. But you know what? It blocks the light. That's perfect. You know how many damn perfect things are going on in your life? Can you really examine just how much you got? Your eyes, they blink, right? That's pretty damn perfect. You can see me? Oh my God. How perfect is that? Or maybe it's just not as perfect, but vision you have perfectly. You got to understand it's the perspective of what you're experiencing and living every day. It's only the little imperfections in life that take the highlight. That's my quote. It's only the little imperfections in our life that take the highlight. Now, I mean, I think that's a great way to tune in to what's happening in our lives. But I digress. I get on this stuff. My point to all this, man, it's a process. Why can't these people, the other thing that could happen by them coming into our country, which is what I brought up to my homeboy, is we don't know what can manifest, meaning that, yeah, there may be some bad problems that happen out of the group. I mean, I don't think it's going to be extreme as much what most people think. Okay? I don't think so. But there's going to be a few little bumps and things like that. But you don't know if there's going to be that one strong, let's call him a Superman in the immigrant pool, who's going to meet the right person, who's going to have the right connection, and is going to manifest and totally create and redefine a reality that we could have never ever dreamed of if this individual had never met the other face to face in America. That's the kind of power we're talking about. And it easily can happen. It can happen in multiple ways, multiple times. So when somebody says, oh, don't do that, it's going to upset the what? Upset the change? See, people don't like change, rapid change, man. They don't like that shit. It's uncomfortable. So they keep holding back the inevitable. It's like water coming in and everybody just, trying to push this back. I mean, like, it's on the way, and there's no other way around it, especially if you're more conscious now. If you're more conscious now, you'll start understanding this stuff like intuitively. The guys who are already good in their fields, meaning they have really good intuition in their fields, they're kind of like harmonized with it. They improved, triple-folded what they were doing from knowledge and logic. Well, I got a freaking harmonic I can play pretty damn decent now. I was having problems before. Now, I can't attest to what that's all causing if it was part of my weight loss. Because I'll tell you, something happens with weight loss, you do feel extremely a lot better. if anybody's ever experienced it. So if you want to know how I took care of that, I was going to mention that, so I might as well do it now. The product is called BioComplete 3. I can't even believe it. I'm going to tell it. Stay tuned in this video if you want to hear what actually helped on my weight loss. It's BioComplete 3. I think I might have mentioned it in another past video. I don't know. But with Stephen Gundry, Dr. Gundry, if anybody knows him, he's the guy, right? And I've only actually taken 4 doses out of the pills I bought. So it didn't even take a whole lot for me. I kind of added other things to the mix. So in that process was I drank a lot of different cultures. So I had apple cider vinegar, which is a different enzyme microbe, and then you've got one in all the kombuchas. I was drinking kefir, so it's a type of, I don't know. I don't want to go into it, but you already get it. So I had all these different microbials going on, and it put me in an ultra base state. So when I was based out, I had no energy really. I was just like, whew, I feel light. I feel really uncomfortable being this light, and I feel like that right now. I feel like I'm not uncomfortable. I'm like starting to calm down with that. But that's the whole adjustment I've been making. And I don't use free weights as much. Like I said, I've been doing calisthenics, but I have been doing like more pull-ups. Everything is pretty cool. Push-ups I can do, all my exercises. I can all do the same weight I was doing before. So I really don't know what I've lost. All I can tell you what I've lost more is really this extra fat, body fat. Now, there's a good ratio pill that I've been taking too as a pre-workout. And I'm still sampling with it because it has theanine, L-theanine. And that does something sometimes a little different. I'm on it actually today. I took it earlier today, did a workout, and so I'm where I'm at right now. But it lasts me the whole day for sure. It's very difficult for me to actually approach the sleep phase when I'm on it. But I do. When I do, it's usually at the end of the day, conks me out. Now, that's something that's called energy something. I'm sorry I'm not of more help than that. But the ratios you want to look for in these pills is a 200 to 100 ratio. That's for the caffeine to be 200 milligrams and for the L-theanine to be 100 milligrams. If you want to have a more relaxed state, this was more energetic based, and then people sometimes really like this. This is like having your cocaine boost the whole day, okay? And you see this is even while I've been taking one of those and smoking wacky tobacco, right? So with these two combinations, and I haven't done it in over 30 days, you can already see I still have the mental coherence to give this message. So it's amazing, okay? So anyways, 200, 100, and it has a dose of medium chain triglycerides. What is that? MCT. It's got MCT oil. Why did I have to say that whole name? Anyways, the oil's in there with it. I have no idea what that does with the caffeine or the L-theanine, but maybe it helps to prep the body to oxidize fat. I have no idea. I don't know. So that's the only thing I can come up with. That's the pill I take. That's what I've been on, my regimen, and I've just been living life. You get a better, deeper appreciation when you start embracing energy retention. I go into a room without any concerns whatsoever. I actually imprint in my head almost a nun mentality that when I go out, I am practicing, in my mind I say I'm practicing celibacy and I'm practicing abstinence. That has kind of become a religious mantra. It's very weird to be out in public and to kind of just say, I'm not here for that at all. And what happens? I'm going to tell you, every time I've gone out, I've had female reception. So good female reception every time. And like it's what's building on these women is that a lot of times, like I'm in a certain objective, I don't even mess with them. So I don't go home with them, or, I mean, they want to get in conversations. Like it's as specific as this. One girl will talk to me a little bit at the bar. Later on, she'll come back up. She's like, hey, I want to introduce you to my girlfriend. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, well, I'm waiting for a girl to show up right now tonight. So, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and busy this guy up. Maybe his chick don't show up, right? And I mean, this just happened to me last week. And I have to mention it here because people are always wondering, well, what's your experience been like? Well, my experience has been outstanding since energy retention. I don't know if I can give credibility to anything else as much as I can to energy retention. because you're choosing to do something that was compulsive, like massively compulsive in your life, meaning that you've shifted a major habit in your life. When you can like turn the gears of something major, that vibrational chain network gets fucking hell spent. I mean, it just totally changes everything. And when you can start to get like power behind it, the word the energy is redirected is magnified. It is epic. I can't believe I'm almost close to 40 days. Just a tiny little, and it was nothing really. So I was like, okay. So I'm at a real pivotal point where I'm radically have changed and kind of back into my youthful mindset with all the experience of what the lifetime has brought to me and wisdom at this current age. This is fun. This makes life really fun. Well, the girl that I engaged with, I did it out of purpose because I really don't even care. I don't mind talking to women. I mean, you start to have this weird energy with women. Like you can feel like you got more power. Like I don't want to say it that way. It really sounds terrible, but you feel it that way. So these women are responding to you. Like there's one right now at the gym. She's new. And I remember the first day I was already like shaking her hand, smiling. We're just looking at each other's eyes. And she just messed. I think her boyfriend had just told her he was cheating on her or something. But she was really like engaged with me, and I didn't know any of that info. And then later after that, and I could be totally wrong with my assumption about it. It's not about me being right or wrong. It's how I feel. As long as you feel that way, it's correct in your head, in your world, until otherwise, right? So today, I'm going to the gym. I'm thinking like, oh, I've already seen her once. Hey, here you are again. I'm going to work out, and it's really good to see you again because she's cute. I like her. She's got dope energy. Got some tats on her. I like tats. I love tats. Love a tatted girl. Just like women that own their stuff. Even if they don't have tats, I just like a woman that owns her stuff. So she's kind of like this right now, and she's just smiling away, talking. And I was like, all right, it's good to see you, and all this stuff. And one of the chicks was like, hey, so-and-so. And she's just staring at me, like talking, and I'm laughing because like I hear homegirl, the other coworker, trying to get her attention. She's like, hey. She's like, can you hear me? Blah, blah, blah. And then she turns around and says, oh, yeah. She was fixed on me. Now, I saw that if I was wrong in that, I was wrong. But I totally caught the vibes. And like then, like I started to go off and try to go work, right? I'm trying to get my leg workout done. I ain't that big. I'm just trying to maintain right now. So try to go over there and handle that. And like she's just walking, talking, and coming. And then again, there was another episode where she's trying to get her attention. It's just like, oh, yeah, something. And, it was like, I don't know if she was just stoned, man, which is totally cool. If you're stoned, all right. But I didn't get that impression. Well, maybe. But she was like just totally receptive. When I was leaving, there she was just, I fucking again. And I'm just thinking. And I wasn't really engaging back because I kept trying to like look at her. I wanted to dominate. And then I saw, wait a minute, I'm not being dominated. Okay, let's let it happen. Like I like this energy decision I can make. And that's the whole point. Most of us, when we're acting in compulsion, we don't have that choice. We don't know how to stop, evaluate, let go, pull back, pull in, create a vibration. That's like us. The best example I'm thinking of right now is like somebody that's just walking around and they're just closed fist the whole damn time. Okay? And they're just like this. They can't grab anything. They can't do anything else. This is about as strong as their capability can get. But once that nervous system lets go, and it gets a little lighter, and then they can move a finger. Yeah. That's what it's like to be able to control the sexual energy. It becomes decisional and opposed to compulsive. So that's about as much as I want to share today because I think that's a pretty good stopping point. And just to share that, yes, I'm approaching, or if I'm not already past my 40-day mark. and don't know when I'm going to ever stop, because it's just a pure joy to be in this state and to maintain the kind of discipline. It's like a natural discipline. It's one of those few things that you can start or do in your life that is rough at the beginning, but then you actually start to celebrate it, and it pays dividend after dividend, and you want to go longer and longer, and it becomes a good faith or a religion to yourself. It's so rewarding if people can get to that space. You get a deeper love for people. I didn't even tell you, though. I finished the story. I can't stop this video. I got to tell the story. So I'm at the bar with that chicks, and I'm talking to these other girls and blah, blah, blah. And so the one girl shows up, and I'm like, oh, snap. And this is kind of like the first date, right? So I wasn't quite sure what she was going to look like, but she was just like what she looked like on her photos. And so she was pleasantly surprised with me too, which is really cool. But I didn't even really care too much about her looks, even though she was very good looking. Let's be real. Fit body, flat stomach, all that stuff, and just a rock star haircut. She's just dope. And then she had like some really cool, she dressed herself up right. So when I turned around, I was like, hey, honey. And I was sitting with the girls, right? So I'm talking with one girl's girlfriend, and we're outside. And I turned, I was like, oh my God. I was like, hey, honey. I was like, dang, boom, I'm gone. Do you know what the compulsive fucking energy releasing motherfucker would have done? He would have been like, oh, hey, what was your name again? Oh, yeah, and this is so-and-so. Yeah, that's the difference. You don't know what the fuck it's going to be until you show up. And when you show up, you fucking perform like you're supposed to, man. This is what all the God particle, man, it's all in you. It's all in you. Same for women. This is one thing I've been trying to tell my homegirl about. I was like, I'm on this kick. You should get on the kick too. It's for women. I gave her a video on it because I'm like, this is legit. You're going to get your shit straight. It's going to put you in a whole nother frame. Ain't about just, ooh, let me get the sexual gratification out of the way. No, it's much deeper than that. It's about having that deeper layer of control over compulsion. And the stronger and stronger you can come away with that, let's say that I get sensations or something. I want to touch myself. Well, the deeper you can get away, or the more you can get away from that, it even is more transformative. Because you got to think, that's creative energy working within you. Now, I don't care what anybody says. If they want to say, that's nothing, there's no science in that. Bruh, the proof's in the pudding. Fuck the science, bro. Just do it. Try it out. What do you got to lose? And there's actually is science. I mean, we already know that you change a habit and behavior fucking changes. Well, it just goes a different direction the path goes. So, I mean, that's proven. But you don't need to do that. You don't need to look up any statistic. No studies. Just go out there and perform this religion. I'm having a ball behind it. I got a lot of opportunities, and I'm not really looking for it. But when I feel like I'm selective, I am. And so this girl, when I met her, me and her clicked instantly. There was no like, let's work up to it. Let's know for a week or a year. No, we're into it right away. Now, she respected herself, I think, for the first date, not to go home with her or anything. But the rest of the night, we were all over each other. We're grabbing, we're kissing, we're doing rubs, we're there. We're intimate the entire time. And we've said how much we enjoy looking at the other person. And she's like, I'm pretty freaking nutty. She's like 3 to 4 times nuttier than me in the good way. And that makes her more interesting to me because she says she absorbs energy in places. So she has to touch things and familiarize herself. Now, I didn't have anything in my profile. I've been trying not to get any women. Remember, I'm trying to live my life, but occasionally I'll see something that comes on there because I get interested. I'm like, well, maybe let's see what's going on. And so if there's a girl I think is hot and has a pretty decent profile, I click a little thumbs up button. I want eHarmony. I'm already paid up. So I run into him, and so this one I was like, hey, I finally was at a moment. I'd already thumbs her up, and she thumbed me back. So I waited a couple days, and I was thinking, I was like, no, you know what, man? I was like, she's dope. She's cool. Let me freaking send a message out. Say what up. So Set her up with a message. I said, I really think your profile is pretty dope. I think it's cool as hell. Love to get with you. You got some time tomorrow for some coffee? Nah, I can't do that. So let's do next Tuesday then. Something such and such and such. Oh, that sounds great. And then she said, well, and I was supposed to go out that night. She goes, well, hell, what the I was like, here's my phone number. Text me. Sometimes I miss notifications on eHarmony, right? So she's like, hey, this is so-and-so. So cool. And then she's like, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing right now? I was like, you're funny. I was like, I'm about to fucking come out there. I'm about to go out tonight. So she was like, all right. And she's like, well, I got to go do this bike ride. She does, bike ride. Well, that's interesting. Right off the gate, that's interesting to me. But, okay. I've been trying to do a bike ride at night or night bike ride. So I was like, cool. So she said, I'm going to get done, come over. So she came over. And I mean, she's to the nines. We're linked up. We're totally getting into one another. She asked me the astrology questions and signs stuff first, which is cool. And I played along. I played stupid like I didn't know shit. But we quickly conquered. We went around that. We were talking about how we have this much in this chart. But before we could really get deeper and super fucking deep and like really fucking into each other, right? Like you're in this fucking rush. Here comes cock number one. And I like isolated. We'd already came back. We already kind of got back into this back VIP room. So we isolated ourselves off. I knew where the spot was. I know the place is there. Obviously because I was talking to the one chick that took me everywhere. So we're back there and one cock shows up. And he's all right. He's just checking out the place and asking questions. I'm thinking, all right, we'll shut up a little bit. He's going to go on. Well, he didn't get out of that room quick enough. So cock number two quickly comes in. It's like, wait, what's going on in here, kind of thing. And then enough conversation took place to where two more cocks were in there. And it was like, I don't compete. I'm here of my own volition anyways. So do what you please. I don't give a shit. So she proceeded, she stayed right next to me. She wasn't like all over the room, but she kind of was. But then she was talking with the guys, just I thought it was okay, I was listening to her, but then I got my own conversation going on, right? Because I'm living my life. So the cool part about what she did, and I didn't really care. That was the whole point. I really didn't care. I'm happy in the moment. She would leave and kind of like talk with the one guy or something like that, but then she would come back and like totally rub up on me and like give me massive reassurance stuff. Like things I would not request. I'm not requesting for it, but I'm receiving. And I'm like, oh man, this is dope. But I will tell you, those damn cocks, man, they came right in. They broke that whole fucking thing up. It was hilarious. But she was with me the whole night. We were kissing, loving, rubbing. One guy got mad as hell. He just kind of dove into his phone. And I was like, well, sorry about that, bro. But, you should have rang before you came in. It's not my problem. I'm sorry about that. Not sorry, but yeah. And so from there on, I mean, we had what conversations we had for the night. And we hugged up, we got the arms around each other, and even when we went out to the street, like this. It was like we're a bunch of goofballs, and we're definitely looking forward to getting together again. So that's just my point to all this funness, is that energy retention allows for you to get control over your shit. And maybe there's some other cool things you can take in addition to the journey. So we're all going through different things, different experiences right now in our lives. I wish everybody the best. I'm closing this down. Have a wonderful evening.